TruckWorld TV, sponsored by Auto Trader Trucks.
Welcome back to TruckWorld TV from our home from home junction 38 services here on the M6. Now it's road test time and Mr. Campbell, once again I'm confused, no change there.
I was just going to say, yeah.
This truck, Mitsubishi badge on the front, but it's not a Mitsubishi, it's a Fuso, and it's a Canter, but there's Mercedes branding down the side. What?
It's obvious, isn't it? Well, before that, it was even owned by Volvo. I can remember the days on that. So, yeah, so Volvo used to own Mitsubishi, and then Mitsubishi, the big Mitsubishi truck side Canter. So it used to be a Volvo Mitsubishi. Then Daimler bought them, so it became a Mitsubishi. And now Daimler obviously lost the name, so they're now calling it a Fuso. So it's pretty obvious, mate. It's a Fuso Canter. Everybody knows that. But it's quite often the glamour trucks that get all the glory in the UK truck industry. You know, your 750 brake horsepower, all singing, all dancing, with the big cabs and everything like that. But you have to remember that it's vehicles like this, the smaller, more efficient vehicles that actually get the UK trucking industry ticking along. A perfect match for inner city duties, this Canter is fitted with the Duonic dual transmission, a clever fuel saving system that allows for much smoother and more efficient gear changes. Now, a lightweight chassis also needs maybe a smaller engine, and that's exactly what we've got. This is only a 2.9 litre engine. Now, normally at 7.5 tonnes, we'd expect in around the 4.5 litre. The important thing is, it still brings out 150 horsepower, which is standard, if you like, for a 7.5 tonner around this sort of size. The interesting bit also is how we actually do our daily checks. Now, most of the bigger trucks, you'll get in the front grille, open it up and do them all in front of you. Here, the Canter's a little bit different, whereas all the checks and top-ups are done around the engine and inside the cab as well. Now we've got a lightweight chassis, and certainly the cab follows suit. It's got the basics in it, which is exactly what you need for a vehicle this size. If you look at the instrument panel, for instance, we've just got the rev counter and the speedo, and we've just got the fuel gauges. By that I mean it's got the gauges for the fuel and also for the AdBlue on the right hand side. If we look at the side of us here, we've got the radio, CD, and then there we've got the digital tachograph, heating and ventilation system up here, and then we've got the lever for the 6-speed automated Duonic, which is the branded automated gearbox they have. We have also the option of a 5-speed manual as well, but this seems to be the norm nowadays in terms of distribution vehicles. We're all going automated, and I don't know why not. We should have done it years ago, as far as I'm concerned. Coming along here, it's got a nice cab through, so you can walk through cab, which is very, very good indeed. Small hump on there, but nothing that can't trip you up too much. And then over here, we've got overhead shelves. And then if we look on the side here, on the dual passenger seat side of it, one of the seats, or the backs of the seat, you flick down, and there you got a nice holder there for your paper, your delivery notes, all the schedules that you need, which is very handy indeed. Now, that's enough about the cab. I think we better get up on the road. In the cab, a little bit of a surprise to an extent, because in the end, this is an urban distribution vehicle, and when you look at it, you think, okay, what do I want in an urban distribution vehicle? Well, I want to be low down, I want to be able to see, and I don't want it too loud inside the cab. This ticks a box in all those. Your position, your driver's position is first class. When you look down, you're down on the ground there. I've got some nice mirrors either side of me, and it really gives you the feeling that you're on top of the job, if you like. And this vehicle lives in the urban environment, and it's certainly made for it. I've just put my foot down slightly just to see what the up change is like. It went up to about 2,300 revs, and then we got the change between the gears. It's just done it again, exactly the same again. And this vehicle is 150 horsepower, it's around 370 newton meters. Its maximum torque is delivered around the 1350 mark. It's got a green zone around the 1,000 to 2,000. Now, here I am, I'm in sort of around about the 35 mph, and I'm around about the 1200, so perfect for getting good fuel consumption, and certainly the theoretical side of it anyway. Visibility wise, the windscreen is quite deep at the front, but it is interesting at the side, your eye line, you're just at the maximum eye line. I've got another 4 or 5 inches above me from the front windscreen, but when I look at the side here, I'm just right there. Now, I'm not tall. If this was Rob, then maybe you'd find that his seating position, maybe he'd have to drop it down quite a bit and virtually be flat on the floor of the cab. As far as the driving seating position is concerned, we've got an Isringhausen mechanical suspension seat, so it's not straight onto the cab floor, if you like, which we've seen before in some vehicles. When you're driving this, you realise that, hey, it's not all about whistles and bells. Okay, they look lovely, the big track units and everything like that, but this is the bread and butter. This is the vehicle that really makes you realise it's all about making money or saving money. That's what transport is all about in distribution. And this vehicle, I'm quite sure, when you go in there and you're looking to carry your 3.5, 4 tons efficiently as possible, then this is a great balance, a great mixture of lightweight, and for an urban distribution vehicle, it's perfect for what you want. Okay, hands up, I must admit, I wasn't looking completely forward to the road test, but now I've got to say I'm converted. What a cracking little vehicle. That's not been derogatory to it at all. Lightweight, cabs low to the floor, easy to get in and out of, auto gearbox, it ticks all the boxes. It's a great distribution vehicle, and you can see now why the popularity of these types of trucks are increasing on UK roads.
Now Tim, for someone who has made it very public that you love the big, bold, brash trucks with all the whistles and bells, you seem to have a little fond soft spot for that truck.
I don't know, it's like anything else for trucks. It's a practical thing, it's horses for courses, and to me, the Fuso is a lovely little vehicle, urban delivery vehicle, final mile, final 5, 10 miles, whatever you want to call it, and it suits it down to the ground. We used to have the bigger trucks delivering, we've now got them, you know, we can't have larger trucks like that going into your suburban areas, and it just suits the market and suits the job.
So of course, big trucks, they stay out on the motorways. Do we need drivers in them?
Oh, that's an interesting thing, mate. 5 years ago, there wouldn't even be a conversation about it. But now we've got it in cars, and we've got it in trucks. And to be honest, I think trucks are slightly ahead of it now, because we've obviously got it in the US with a bit going on in one of the states there. So yeah, it's quite interesting.
Well, if you've been keeping an eye on the news recently, you'll see that there are proposed driverless truck trials on the M6. They said on a quiet part of the M6. I'm not quite sure, because whenever I'm on it, it seems very busy. That sounds quite frightening to me. I mean, the whole idea of driverless cars does, just because I like driving. What do you think the drivers here will think about that? So, come in on Friday, we've got a chat. You're being replaced by a computer.
Yeah, I don't. At the moment, I think there's a first stage, which is the fact that they might be driverless. By that I mean automated, and so there'll be a driver there on board. But ultimately, yeah, I think we'll see convoys, if you like, and then one following each other. I mean, it's not difficult. Lane departure, active cruise control. It's quite simple, really, to be honest.
We don't need the drivers now, do we? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think your drivers might have a different view of that.
Well, we did put that question to them here at Junction 38, and here's what the drivers thought about driverless trucks on the M6.
I just think it's going to do a lot of boys in the industry out of jobs, and they'll be better off doing without them.
Yeah.
So how safe are they going to be? With no drivers, can't be safe.
Well, I don't think they should do convoys, it's dangerous. It's dangerous for other people on the road. If someone wants to get in, they can't get in if it's a convoy, you know what I mean?
You don't know what's going to happen and what's going to step out in front of you, or wild animals or anything like that, and it can cause any amount of problems unless it's in a designated lane.
I don't know how they'll work. I genuinely don't know, because as far as I'm concerned, it's always been human beings that's operated them.
not that keen actually. It's doing me out of a job, isn't it? And well, safety is obviously an issue as well. I think they should trial them on a private road that's unused by other traffic myself.
Well, I guess we could have predicted some of those responses.
Very happy, were they? Yeah. But we've always been told, certainly for the last 4 or 5 years, since we had the drivers CPC coming in, the fact that we've not got enough drivers in the UK. I mean, anything from 50, 100,000, you know, it varies a lot. So maybe this is an answer, potential answer to some of it. It won't, it certainly won't replace everybody in terms of that. So I think, no, you know, I can see the benefits of it. I'm just slightly worried about the technical side of it and the legislation side of it. You know, who's in control of the vehicle when you're talking about, you know, road traffic accidents, when there's, you know, who's doing what to whom. You know, the practical technical side of it, I think the manufacturers all got sorted out anyway. We've already got it on our, we've got the potential on our cars, the technology's there. It's a case of how do we fit it, what does it suit, and the soft side of it, if you like, subjective side rather than the objective side, that's the problem.
As you say, with most things sort of futuristic, we think that'll never happen, and then a few years later, there we are.
Just look at your smartphones now. You're doing, you know, voice calls and more importantly video calls to each other, and we take that as a norm.
And they all said they'd never let us back on telly, and look what happened.
I know, yeah, how cruel can you be?
Well, that's it for another episode of TruckWorld TV. Of course, we have the website at truckworldtv.co.uk. Be sure to send in your tweets and emails. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, bye-bye.
TruckWorld TV, sponsored by Auto Trader Trucks.